How excited are you about going into season 5?
Can you see how the excitement?
I was looking at the camera. I looked out at the screen.
No, I'm very excited. I'm excited for
It's early.
no, I'm excited for the audience to see this season. It's a different season. There's a lot of things that Taylor wrote this year that are different than any other year. And yeah, I'm excited to see their response.
When you started this journey, were you anticipating that this show would become this big hit? I mean, sometimes people say they get a feeling. Did you have that?
No. I mean, listen, this show started as a grassroots show, and it's built out to the edges of the country over the last couple of years. But that being said, I definitely thought with Taylor's writing, the cast, that it had potential to be great.
What has been the coolest thing that has happened to you since you started doing this show? How has your life changed?
I think, honestly, for me, I care so much about like the discipline of riding and being, a good horseman. So I think the thing that I've been really pushing myself is to put in saddle time, work my ass off, rope off a horse, cut, rein, any discipline. And so that to me has been one thing that I really pushed myself to be great at.
What's the training been like working on the show for all of you?
I mean, when I say we, I mean, I usually go with Taylor probably a month and a half before we start in Montana, and I'll go down to Texas, and basically him and I just screw around on horses, and get comfortable again. I mean, so much of my life on the show is on a horse. I mean, my office is outside, and, he wants me, certainly early on, he wanted me to, basically a horse is an extension of Rip, and he wanted me to be able to do everything on it. And so that was my goal. But as you get better and better and better throughout the process, you realize you're never going to be as good as you want unless you put in the saddle time. So that to me is always a challenge, and I'm continuously doing that.
What is your favorite thing about playing Rip? Because he's a dark guy with a lot of layers.
What's my favorite thing? I mean, I think what you just said, all the layers, all the colors. I mean, Taylor and I have created somebody who I feel like, you don't know when he walks into the room, you don't know what's going to happen. He can kiss you on the mouth. He can beat your ass. He can kill you. He can love you up. He can be your best friend. I mean, there's all these kind of variables to him that, as an actor, you dream about playing a guy like this. And he's one of them that, there's no, how do I say it? There's no, like, you can press as far as you want the envelope, and you always come back to the fact that this guy is just an unbelievable, I mean, he's a part of nature and a part of Montana and a part of, humanity and the old school kind of version of the American man.
This season 5, you and Beth, what can we expect? What can you tell us?
Well, we're married, so it should be interesting.
That's
I'm
it?
not going to give you too much. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of past stuff that comes up. I mean, there's flashbacks of us younger again, which is pretty cool. But I feel like Rip is still that rock for her, and is there in a big way, and the man that he should always be with, regards to her.
How much of you is in Rip?
That's a good question. A lot. Vice versa. I mean, it's hard not for the character to bleed a little bit into me, and vice versa. And I think Taylor and I, we've taken a lot of, and he's watched me as a young actor, and then through my 20s into my 30s, and now in my 40s. And I think he's taken a lot of what he's seen, as me as an actor, and he's kind of used a lot of the things that he thinks that I have strengths in, and he's also challenged me in certain areas about showing emotion and so on. And I think we're just a good combination that way, where it's push and pull, and and challenge, and also, you know, what do you feel comfortable with, and, you know, whether it's doing a stunt on a horse, or, you know, flying by and or roping something, or a cow or a bull. I mean, it's just, you know, the two of us together, we've just pushed each other, you know, and it's all you can ask for when it comes to creativity.
I was watching Jimmy Fallon, and I heard you say that Drake, the rapper, is a big fan of the show.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't see that one coming, you know, but it's cool that this show has touched, you know, people not only here in America, but up in Canada, and, you know, urban environments, you know, also country. And, you know, it's kind of wild. I'm here in New York, and I was walking down the street the other day, and it was Halloween, and I saw like a rip go by, and I yelled out, "Hey man, what's going on?" And he's like, he turned and he looked at me and said, "Rip," and he's like, "Hey, you." You know what I mean? It's like you'd never expect it in New York City, but it's pretty cool.
It's gotta feel so. I feel like that's got to be more than cool. People are dressing up as you for Halloween, and you've been in the game for so long. So this moment must mean so much to you.
I mean, listen, I don't think in those terms, really. I mean, I'm doing what I do, you know, the best I can, and, you know, if people respond, you know, to the character and to the story, then great. But for me, honestly, I love the character. I love what I'm doing.